Alright guys, welcome back into another PGA DFS video. Got the course preview / tournament overview for the Genesis Invitational. That's right, it is going to be a Genesis Invitational, not the Genesis Open this year. With that, you can expect a little bit higher names. Typically with the invite, it does draw in a bigger crowd just because there's a little bit less reduced field, which personally for like DFS and betting purposes, not as optimal as an approach. You kind of lose the edge there, but bigger names and whatnot, it will be a better event. It'll kind of be like the Waste Management Phoenix Open, where there's going to be a ton of quality plays for this event. Just kind of looking it over. The big names here, you got Brooks just coming off of that victory, Bryson, Kyle Morikawa, Francesco Molinari, DJ's expected here. I'm sure Adam Scott, the defending champ's going to be here. Rory, I think, is expected as well. You got Doc Redman, who actually won the U.S. Amateur here, and I think was like 2017. Just lots of storylines to follow, and then we kind of got to see if like Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth is going to be here, but going to be a jam-packed field coming off of really a fun tournament here that we have going right now at Pebble Beach. So I am recording this on Sunday at like 4 p.m. Central. So they're kind of closing out the last few holes right now. Cheering for Daniel Berger, cheering for Paul Casey, a little bit of Kevin Streelman. Pretty much if Nate Lashley or Jordan Spieth don't win, it's going to be a solid day. So, we'll kind of get into that a little bit more here in a second. But just doing a quick overview here. The course is kind of a fun one. I have it listed down as a Parkland style course. The last 4 winners here were Adam Scott, JB Holmes, Bubba Watson, and Dustin Johnson. So just looking at it, these guys, average score has been kind of spread out, and the cut line has been a little bit similar. So last year the winning score was -14, cut line 0, even par, whatever. Year before that, -11 was the win score. Cut was right around +1, is that? Wow. Okay. So it plays tougher. Okay. No, over par for the cut. That's a little bit surprising. Then Bubba Watson winning it 12 under par, +2 was a cut. And then in 2017, played easier, 17 under par, but still 0 was the cut line. So kind of the average cut line that we have is like 0.75 for the cut line. And then the average win score is 13.5. So kind of an interesting week in general there. All right, so now we're just going to get into a quick recap of this. We would kind of show you guys the player pool and kind of how that went. It was a pretty solid week just overall. Did a lot of showdown content, which really just solid overall. I mean, guys, I know it's kind of my first time giving videos for showdown content. It's not going to be that good every week. It was kind of fun there. I have another lineup going right now that's in contention right now. I actually have 2. One's at like 100th, and then the other one was like top 25 when I started this video. So fingers crossed, pretty much, once again, if Jordan Spieth and Nate Lashley don't win, it's going to be solid. But you guys can see our player pool. Patrick Cantlay in contention. Kevin Streelman in contention. Max Homa in contention. Kyle Stanley, Matt Jones, Matthew Naismith, both lower price guys that we pretty much just thought would make the cut. And then you got Berger, who we obviously liked. Burns, Kazaider, Davis, and Paul Casey, all guys in contention as well. Really the only poor plays that were on were a couple of GPP plays with like James Hahn, Sink, and Phil. I mean, who would have thought, really, honestly, guys, that this week for Pebble Beach, one that, shouldn't have been an easy week, would have been the most predictable, the easiest week so far this season. I mean, just across the board, if you look at the model and whatnot, easiest by far week to predict statistically throughout the season. And honestly, no one saw that coming. It's pretty crazy. I wish there was a little bit more carnage because that would have meant a little bit more domination, but it felt good to have a solid week. But enough about that. Let's get into this week's tournament here. All right, so getting into the Genesis Invitational here, we can see the breakdown there. I have listed as a Parkland style course. The fairways, Kikuyu grass, which is kind of something a little bit different. We don't typically see that. We got bent grass green, so nothing too crazy there. Overall, the weather has been pretty crazy. It was worse, which is 30+ mile per hour winds, great, which is great and good, are pretty much just ideal golf conditions, and then mixed conditions, which is windy and rainy as well. So we've seen kind of everything here. So it hasn't exactly played a key factor that much. Really, when the conditions have been worse, they've actually played a little bit easier, and maybe that's just because they decide not to make the course play as difficult because the conditions were tough. I don't really know why, but we have seen that. But let's get into kind of the stat breakdown of which players tend to play well at this course. So we just have it sorted by players that made the cut, and we're kind of just looking at right now. Anything distinct here popping out? No, nothing really here. Once again, if it does play difficult though, I do like looking at bogey avoidance just in terms of making the cut. That's what I like to look at. And then from there, that's when you really start to get that finite approach. So we'll sort it by top 20 here, see if there's a big difference. Okay, so for the scoring stat purposes, we start to see that birdie to bogey ratio really starts to pop out, separate itself from bogey avoidance and birdie or better percentage. So that birdie to bogey ratio, that might be one of the most key stats that we want to look at. So we aren't really seeing a huge yardage difference there. Yeah, not going to be anything significant there that I think we'll see. One thing to point out is that we are seeing a separation between total driving and ball striking. Ball striking is looking like it'll be a key stat. Strokes gained to the green, and then just looking at it, driving distance, much more of a huge factor here compared to driving accuracy. We're starting to see a huge separation there. Other than that, nothing too crazy. We'll go down to top 10 here, and then we'll look at the past 4 winners to see what they have done here as well. So what it takes to top 10 here. Birdie to bogey ratio, once again, we see that to be true now. Driving distance definitely over driving accuracy. Kind of surprising there. So maybe just strokes gained to the green if that's what you want to do. You could look at good drives gained as well. Maybe factor in driving distance with good drives gained. That might be something I'd put together on the 9 to 5 Sports page to see kind of what we get there. I don't mind that idea because we definitely see that driving distance does hold an advantage over driving accuracy in this one. Ball striking, once again, we start to see that one stand out. Strokes gained approach and strokes gained to the green. We're definitely seeing something there. Let's just go down to the winners, see what they did, see what they've stood out. So the last 4 winners, this is what they did. So kind of surprising there. The last 4 winners really excelled in 175 to 150 yardage range. A little bit surprising there. Obviously they did really well in birdie or better percentage and birdie to bogey ratio. We're always going to kind of see that from a winner. Strokes gained off the tee, they did really well, which is not surprising because driving distance, we saw it really be a huge factor. But once again, we really see ball striking be a huge key stat in terms of who won. Par 4 scoring, that makes sense. Obviously it's a par 71 here, so it just makes sense. Scrambling a little bit there as well, but strokes gained approach, so kind of interesting there as a whole. I think we kind of get the picture of what this course is going to play like. So that is all I have for you guys. Definitely make sure to check out tomorrow's video. Gonna try to do videos pretty much daily here. Nice little 9 to 5 golf content week for you guys. So if you haven't, make sure to like and subscribe. If you guys want to join the membership, $10 a month, best value in PGA DFS. Link is in the description below. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.